Dude, it is like so chaotic now. All this Biden madness. I want to talk about this Biden replacement because I'm finding it a little annoying, actually. We have Donald Trump, a liar. We have this Supreme Court decision that is super toxic. And we have this Project 2025 looming, and instead of Democrats just sort of uniting behind our ticket, all the Democrats are crying about Joe Biden because of this debate. And I don't really understand it because Joe Biden overwhelmingly won the nomination. The fundraising has been coming in. He's not really polling much different after the debate than he was before the debate, but yet everybody now, all we want to talk about is him. It's so stupid. It's like we're living in a reality TV nightmare right now. But what I do notice is this: the strongest anti-Biden voices right now are people who are really upset about the Palestine-Israel scenario. They want Biden out because they feel like he's abandoned them. They are all relishing on this anti-Biden sentiment. They want Biden to drop out because they've been calling him Genocide Joe for the past year. Even though if you have money in America, like you look at those people, even as much as I love Hassan, dude, I love Hassan, right? And he's about as pro-Palestine as it gets. But that guy is wealthy landowner in America. Dude, Hassan is rich because of American genocide. Let's be honest. It doesn't matter what his political leanings are. He's probably got a healthy stock portfolio based on companies that have grown because of American genocide. There's Native Americans 80 miles from my house trapped on reservations so people like Hassan and Cenk and Donald Trump and everybody else in this country can be wealthy. And let's not forget that. So you can call him Genocide Joe, but if you got a fat bank account and a stock portfolio, you're as genocidal as the rest of them, period. Like, we only exist here. We only own property because of a genocide. Like, come on, bro. And that doesn't mean that we shouldn't hold Joe accountable for his duties, but to act like genocide is purely an act of Biden is bullshit, bro. I mean, come on, dude. That is some horse shit. And I'm really irritated by that. But they are all in on this Biden dropping out. And now again, for me, I don't care if Biden does drop out and gets replaced with Kamala Harris or Howdy Doody. I don't care. I will vote for the Democratic nominee. But here's the problem. The problem is these far left voices that are yapping and running their mouth, and they're all like Genocide Joe, and they're all the Democratic Party's yada, 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 right? Those, it's like, are they going to vote for whomever the Democratic candidate is in November? I don't think so. They're sure not acting like it. They're acting like they're only going to vote Democrat if they get their way, if they can bully like Biden out of the thing and then pick somebody else. That's kind of what I see. Like, I'm voting for whoever is blue on November 5th, but this shit is pissing me off, bro. I've been sort of colossally disappointed watching Hassan lately because, I mean, I get it. I know he's been anti-Biden for a while, but if you want to win the election, ravaging your party 4 months before the election and trying to weaken any belief in it or in the party's ability to win is really a questionable move. It doesn't help your side. And again, though, somebody like Hassan will actually be better off if Trump wins. He will. He'll be able to rail against Trump for years. He'll get tax breaks. You know, a Trump win literally only helps those guys significantly, to be honest with you. They're incredibly protected. Him and Cenk and the TYT folks, the really big streamers and pundits or whatever, they'll be able to rail against Trump for 4 years, and no matter how bad the legislation gets, their wealth protects them from being victimized by what he does. And it's pretty gross because there's a lot of people that are going to suffer enormously if Trump wins. If you look at Cenk, Uygur, and Hassan and all these far lefties and this Jared Golden guy, are they voting blue no matter who or what? Or have they convinced themselves that they can't vote for Biden? So what they're doing is they're trying to cover their own asses, because if Biden's on the ticket, they're not going to vote for him. And then they'll know that they're responsible for a Trump presidency. So they're trying to get Biden off the ticket so they can vote Democratic, clearing their conscience. I mean, maybe. But I'm telling you right now, dude, I'm sick of seeing rich Americans talking about genocide as though they're exempt from it. That really pisses me off, because if you're wealthy in America, you're genocidal, period. I don't care. You can talk all day about how you don't support genocide, but the minute you get fat on that American capitalist money, you are genocide. You don't get rich in America unless you are on the genocidal tip, period. That's it. If you have a fat stock portfolio, you own land, you have co-signed for the genocide that gave you that shit. And if you want to acknowledge that and admit your own genocidal nature, and then we want to change and we want to become different over time, then that's great. But you don't get to have, like, you know, $1 million home and a fat stock portfolio and $500,000 in the bank and then act like you're not as genocidal as everybody else, when you have that money in a capitalist system that was exclusively provided to you from a genocide that happened on our soil. Because I live in a state where you see the Native Americans. A lot of states you don't. If you're living in LA, you're not seeing the Native Americans living on reservations. And that shit's out of view for you. But there are Native Americans with, you know, high suicide rates and high rates of alcoholism. The only business they have are casinos, which their entire belief system is fundamentally against owning casinos. But that's all they've got. That's the only way they're surviving. And they're trapped on tiny plots of land. And their entire people have been for, you know, hundreds of years. And you're sitting in your $1 million home that you have because of an American genocide. And now you're like saying, oh, like, you want America to not be genocidal anymore. Let's look at Hassan's uncle. He has been anti-Biden like crazy. He's mad. He's mad about Palestine. He's mad about Gaza. He doesn't like Biden. He's mad about his presidential run failing. And he's been like anti-Biden for 1.5 years now, 2 years, Cenk has. And look at him. He's like, it's over, blah, blah, blah. I don't understand what's going on here. What are they going to do? I mean, I understand that they're like, oh, people are worried about Biden's mental fitness. But what I don't understand is why is that an issue? Why do we care? Why are we talking about this? Why aren't we talking about Trump's mental fitness? Why is everybody on the left spending time harshing on Joe Biden's mental fitness? I believe it's the Gaza people that are flipping out about this. You know what I'm saying? They're mad Joe Biden didn't take a stand for Gaza, and now they're like lining up to put Biden under the firing squad. And dude, I don't get it. And yeah, I've noticed this with Hassan too. Like, Hassan is melting down over Joe Biden. And 4 months out, why are you doing this? What do you think? Okay, let's say they get their way and let's say Biden drops out. And who are they going to replace him with? Kamala Harris, all right? So what do you think? You think the independents in middle America who wouldn't vote for a white woman who was the wife of one of the better performing presidents and the better loved presidents in recent history, you think that they're going to vote for a black woman? They're going to vote for Kamala Harris now? Middle America, who wouldn't vote for Hillary Clinton, are going to vote for Kamala Harris over Donald Trump. I mean, how does that compute? She wasn't even well loved when she was put on the ticket. I mean, I like Kamala Harris. I don't know if I completely absolve her from some of her past sins, but like, dude, I don't get it. Like, what is their end game? What is their option? These guys are sowing animosity for the candidate of their party 4 months before the election. How do you think this wins? He's talking about Joe Biden has taken the Democratic Party hostage. No, he's not. He's our candidate. Do you think a part of them that want the outrage? I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe so. I mean, Hillary Clinton couldn't win against Donald Trump. So to think that Kamala Harris is going to win against Donald Trump, you think the white rural independent voters in middle America are going to vote Kamala Harris straight in? You think so? You think that's the answer? And you don't think she's going to get attacked viciously? Any new candidate? You don't think that the Democratic Party, they are so ineffectual and so ridiculously chaotic that their incumbent president is stepping down 4 months before an election? Dude, I'm really annoyed by this. It's weird because he's been doing this for forever. He's been doing this for ages. His entire timeline is anti-Biden. And I believe this is more about his resentment over Palestine than anything else. That's really what it is. I think he hates Biden because Biden was not anti-Israel enough for him. He's been a massive voice about this. Dude, it's pissing me off, bro. It's like personal. How anti-Israel is Trump gonna be? He's not. If Trump becomes president, Palestinians will be done with. They will. There will be a zero-state solution. And Trump is gonna have a hotel in Gaza. Dude, at this point, Hassan's uncle's not even left wing anymore, bro. Look at this. He's now reporting this shit about Hunter Biden being in these meetings or whatever. The New York Times says Hunter Biden's been in the meetings. And this is the shit that Hassan's uncle is passing forward here. I don't know what the solution is because realistically, I don't think there's a better option. Even if you get rid of Joe Biden, what is this guy going to do? He's going to campaign for the new person unless he doesn't like the person they pick. If you look at Cenk's tweets for the last week, there's not a single one about Donald Trump. This guy's supposedly a leftist. And even this, Trump keeps saying lunatic things like post-birth abortions, and he just called Biden a Palestinian like it's an insult. But Biden can't effectively challenge him on anything. But his focus is on Biden being the problem here. Like, instead of like, wow, look at this lunatic. Every tweet of his is about Biden. Biden. It's crazy. And this is incorrect here. I think Trump wants Biden to drop out. I think the Republicans want Biden to drop out. Of course they do. That'll be a slam dunk victory. Like, who's going to step in there? Who can step in there that they're not going to attack? You don't think Donald Trump feels like he can beat Kamala Harris in the Midwest? Dude, it is super disappointing. I noticed this today when I went to Hassan's site. He's going all in. Dude, he's going all in on this anti-Biden shit. I don't know, dude. It's a little bit disappointing. But it looks like he's getting a lot of views for it. His normal videos are getting 100,000 views, and then he does Biden sucks, and it's like triple the views. So I guess it's right now, it's just good business for Hassan Inc. to be jumping on that anti-Biden train. I don't get it, bro. I don't know what to do about this, bro. Everybody is sort of panicking, but the Biden dropping out is a fever pitch. But what's the solution? Like, what is the solution? Because look at this. They're already starting it. Fox News was talking about Kamala Harris all day today, about how she's a DEI hire. Gutfeld's entire program was an attack on Kamala Harris. I think they're hoping desperately that Biden drops out. That's really what I think. The anti-Kamala Harris, if she's at the top of the ticket. Believe me, if Biden drops out and Kamala Harris is the woman in there, they're going to run a ginormous, there's going to be riots, Black Lives Matter. They're going to run straight racism, same way they attacked Barack Obama, but it's now added with the whole misogyny tip and the fact that she's like a Hail Mary pass. They're going to make it seem like her administration was a failure. Biden had to step down. She's throwing a Hail Mary. You know, I mean, I don't have any problem with Kamala Harris, but they've already been attacking her. Do you see this shit? Jared Golden. This guy is a Democrat in Maine, and look what he did. Donald Trump is going to win the election and democracy will be just fine. After the first presidential debate, lots of Democrats are panicking about whether President Joe Biden should step down as the party's nominee. Biden's poor performance in the debate was not a surprise. It also didn't rattle me as it has others because the outcome of this election has been clear to me for months. While I don't plan to vote for him, Donald Trump is going to win, and I'm okay with that. Like, what kind of opinion piece is this guy writing? This is a Democratic rep. Like, what is he doing? What is his point, bro? Democrats' post-debate hand-wringing is based on the idea that a Trump victory is not just a political loss, but a unique threat to our democracy. I reject that premise. Unlike Biden and many others, I refuse to participate in a campaign to scare voters with the idea that Trump will end our democratic system. This guy is basically saying Trump's gonna be harmless. This guy, bro, he's a nobody, is what he is. He's an absolute nobody. Yeah, that's it, exactly. Who's Jared Golden? He's a nobody from a nobody district up in Maine. I guarantee you, he's going to be one of these guys that's going to switch parties or something. He's testing the water, right? He's getting a whole bunch of headlines. Co-chair of the centrist Blue Dog Coalition. Let's see who these are. Moderate members from the Democratic Party. Fiscally and socially conservative. Dude, I don't even think they're Democrats. I think they're like Joe Manchin's. Like, look at where their membership comes from. This is the Blue Dog Coalition. There's like 10 of them, bro. Look at this shit. Who the are these people, bro? Oh my God, dude. He was the lone House Democrat to vote against the Build Back Better Act. He voted against the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. He voted with Republicans to overturn the student debt cancellation. Like, this guy ain't even a Democrat, bro. He voted against bipartisan background checks. He's voted against a lot of Democratic shit, but he seems pretty sure of himself. I don't know what the answer is. Well, what I've noticed on my timeline is the people that are getting into this shit are people that are really like super lefty. Like, he's saying the vote blue no matter who. People are really loud about saying they will not vote for anyone but Biden. And I'm like, dude, no one's actually saying that. People are saying that uniting everyone around an incumbent giving up 4 months before an election would be devastating. It's like really crazy, dude. But like, who are these people? All talking about anti-Biden. I don't know what we do here. Because when you think about it, if you give in to these people, who do you replace them with? Because here's the problem. You ready? Let's look at the money raised. There's $400 million here. So this money is not just transferable. My understanding, if Joe Biden steps down, this money is attached to Biden-Harris. If Joe Biden drops out, this money goes with Kamala Harris. If they put her as a vice presidential candidate on another white guy, Gavin Newsom steps in and replaces Biden. I mean, could that even happen? Would all the black voters in America be like, what the if they replace Biden with another white dude? They have a massive optics scenario. Not only that, but the white dude they replace him with is going to get savaged. There is something that happens where once you are the presidential candidate, your life gets savage. I mean, look at RFK, bro. RFK Jr., look at what's happening to him right now. RFK Jr. denies eating a dog while sidestepping sexual assault allegations in Vanity Fair article. This is what happens when you run for president. Pretty soon they go into every nook and cranny of your life and they start savaging you. Like, his campaign is essentially over. So RFK was on Fox News today trying to reassure people that he's not eating dogs. And, you know, sexual assault allegations from one of his babysitters. I mean, the guy is just getting hammered. This just came out today. So RFK is getting massively dragged. Massively. He's getting savage. Now, what's going to happen with the press is Joe Biden is getting ravaged for his mental faculties. He's not fit to hold office. That's what the press is going to work on. And they're going to continue attacking that as long as it remains newsworthy and sows chaos and gets attention. I know this guy. I like this guy's takes. He's a writer. I definitely appreciate him, but he is also a far lefty guy. Now, I'm far left on policy, but I like to win elections. I do. I am far left in policy, but at the end of the day, I want to win. I don't want Donald Trump because I'm not in an income bracket where I'm entirely immune to Donald Trump. I'm in an income bracket where Donald Trump presidency does make it a little difficult for me. It's this weird sort of thing. Because here's the deal. If presidential mental faculties are important, then Trump is more dangerous than Joe Biden. Because Joe Biden might be a little slow and a little ineffectual mentally, but he's got a competent administration. Donald Trump is rambling about tanks and sharks and windmills and giant wagon batteries, and he has no mental faculties. He can't focus on straight thoughts, and he has an administration of crooks and charlatans and toxic motherfuckers that want to destroy the government. So it presents a little bit of chaos here, because what are we going to do about this? It's making me mad, bro. This shit is making me mad, dude. I'm irritated because we're 4 months before the election, and this is what Democrats are doing, bro. This is really about Israel and Palestine more than it's about Joe Biden. When you look at like Mehdi Hassan and Hasanabi and TYT, it's a Palestine thing. That is really what this far left shit is about. I think a lot of them woke up the other day. It's like they're watching Palestine get parking lotted, and they're mad about it, and they're probably looking in the mirror realizing, holy shit, we have fat bank accounts because we did that shit here in America. And so now we got to throw some dirt on Biden's, decomposing body in order to make it seem like we're not part of that shit. But they are, bro. You are. If you are wealthy in America, you got wealthy because of a genocidal system. And I know it's heartbreaking to watch it crushing Gaza, but it already crushed the Gaza that was here in America. We have Gaza here in America. They're called native reservations. And you don't give a shit about them. You're not working to alleviate their pain, bro. They're ignoring the shit out of it. They are. I'm just upset about this, though, because it's like this fever pitch that's happening 4 months before an election.